Whatever be the reason of anger, anger is never justified because, like fire, anger is like fire. It burns both in the process, yourself as well as the person upon whom you are getting angry. Namaste, everyone. Today we'll attempt on principles of conversation. A civil tongue is a prerequisite to achieve the goal of human life. A cultured tongue rules the kingdom of the heart. A polished tongue in the discourse or conversation influences humanity and reigns supreme. Anger is a poison to spirituality. Unless we are free from this plague, moderation can never be obtained. The effect of anger is that the system becomes heavy and tension is produced. There will be continuous pressure on thought. This human frailty leads to loss of self-respect and individuality and results in unhappiness. This does not allow the free and subtle current to enter. In other words, it restrains the flow of divine grace. So there are many disadvantages of becoming irritable and angry during conversation. Well, in this world where we are interacting with all kinds of people, it is bound to be that we lose our temper. It is going to be there. And unfortunately, anger somehow is reflected or directed mainly towards our loved ones. We don't get angry and upset with strangers, for example, as much as we do towards family members, friends sometimes. Why is it so? I think we take the liberty of knowing the other and know that of course they can take it. But there too we should be careful, because this anger, as Lalaji puts it, is a poison to spirituality, and we are all trying to follow a spiritual path. Sarcasm also. There are certain communities who are full of sarcasm in their conversations. Highly intellectual a person, more knowledgeable a person, we witness this sarcasm in every other sentences they use. And hence they are disliked by many, even by their own spouses, that he is always trying to be an inch above everybody else. They lose friendship, they lose harmony in the family, they lose relationships, nobody visits them. How can they? So, the need to curb our tendencies. Whatever be the reason of anger, anger is never justified because, like fire, anger is like fire. It burns both in the process, yourself as well as the person upon whom you are getting angry. So, why spoil your condition? If you can understand this much and curb our tendencies towards getting angry, it will help us a long way. Best way I found, postpone your anger for later. I'll get angry later on, or maybe after 10 minutes. If anger is overcome and a nasty and a short temper is avoided, there is scope for attainment of a balanced condition of the mind. The greater the control over it, the freer and more bounteous is the celestial gift. It is a pity that this important and essential principle of the use of the tongue in the inevitable and constant activity of people is often overlooked and neglected. It is also unfortunate if the divine guru is held responsible for any lapse. It is no doubt very difficult to control the mind. So Lalaji understands and he does sympathize with us that it is, of course, difficult to control the mind. To free ourselves from anger, we should think ourselves to be polite and humble. Nay, we should try to make ourselves such that the same color enters each and every part of the body. A cool and calm disposition alone is required for spirituality. The heart is so tender that it begins to droop even by the slightest circulation of wind. So with this disposition, cool and calm, and you pause yourself and invite this calmness in your heart. And with this calmness, again invoke some level of politeness and humility and allow that quality to pervade all through the body. Then you see the magic. The technique of developing softness is to create extreme humility in temperament so that it is filled with such a sentiment of love as to have no inclination to cause any hurt to anyone's heart. And the words are also such as not to hurt anyone's heart in the least. So, this is it. Conversation means listening first, listening with love, receptivity, and patience. Then comes our turn to talk. If you have to say something worthwhile, then open your mouth. I have seen people, for every little thing they have to comment something or the other. What do they gain out of it? It's a sign of egoism that every now and then you have to add a comment. It's foolishness. If you can add value to whatever has been talked, whatever is being conversed, then it is worth it. But to add something just for the fun of it, just to make a moment livelier or even lighter, very rarely it adds value. So the control, self-control. And speak not that can hurt others. Madhur Vachan, Madhur Shravanam. Thank you.